They do at the bar. They do at the bar. Yeah. Just do you mind if I explain one of the tweets that I gave you so you can get some cake? Remember I gave you $10 extra? Oh yeah. Oh here, I got $10 now. Oh yeah, sweet. Thank you, man.
Let's see. I think I'm going to get back to the stream here.
Lost the spot.
Lost the spot.
You know what I mean? Like I'd rather like it's like Hampton. Would you rather try 7 hours in there?
You're next. 10 minutes. I don't know. You're gonna take a fucking 10-minute nap? Yeah, next over the table. That's how it goes. Next over the table. Yeah.
That's when you go out there.
Did they start yet? All right. Oh, we were not muted. Okay. Music is shut off. So we're gonna be a little quieter here. We're pretty close to the table. Here we got Martin CHAVEZ versus Mike ODIAN. Do you know Mike?
No,
I
don't know either of these guys.
I know Martin. He's been kind of hanging out under Dylan's wing. Oh, Dylan behind us.
Nice shot off the short rail
I knew it. Yeah. So Mike came from Post Falls, Idaho.
Oh, that's the one.
That's
quite
a
the
long
haul then.
ways. I
Yeah,
wonder
that's quite the haul to get here then.
how far away that is.
I'd say, well, if you're going
6 hour
I'd say
drive.
5.5.
It's
Yeah,
a 6 hour drive.
Patrick Nix over on table 3 is into a battle. Looks like a 6.5.
Yeah, Idaho. All right, let's see what we got here for matches. How was your break? You said it was going to be an hour.
Break was good.
It's been 20 minutes.
We decided to reschedule our break, and we'll have lunch later.
Okay.
We had to go check on the dog, and we can't check into our hotel until 3. Trying to get an early check-in, so came back early. I think he's got plenty of room here. Oh, okay.
Well, a
Chose the
little
safety
low.
instead.
You gotta look at the 7. See, this is one. If you have enough,
he doesn't have enough for the
if you
back.
have enough, you can come off of here thick, bring the cue ball down here, and send the 7 off the rail, up table. I'm trying to get that hidden behind the 8. I think he can
I like
get
that
enough
idea. I
of
mean,
it.
it's a 50-50 hit, so your speed is good for that. Otherwise, I like kicking it into the side, into the
You
lower
can.
side.
I got a buddy, and he swears by the kick shot.
Sure, why
That's
not? I
his
mean,
shot.
it's the same. It's the same.
He's
angle.
made this shot
Sure,
all over the place.
because then your shape is sitting right there for the 8 in the lower left.
That works too. I'll look on the 7, but it's on the rail. That's still okay. And I don't think he can see it to cut it all the way down. So
No,
we're going
you
to see
can see a
another
piece of
safety
it.
here.
If you hit it thin enough, I think you can come on the right side, just behind the 9. Sit on the lower right rail.
Yeah.
I don't think the cross-side bank is there. Actually,
You could cross side
Cross-side
Z
bank
bang
is
or
there.
2-railer. But yeah, you got to play smart here. I like clipping the 7 and coming 2 rails, 3 rails behind the 9. I think that double kissed, and it didn't go in, but it looked good.
Does he have enough to avoid the short cue here?
I can't really
Can't-
tell. I don't think he does.
think
He
he does
could
either.
kick at it. If he hits it good,
Hmm.
he can kind of kick and stick and leave the cue ball somewhere over here.
Yeah, the
We
jump.
trickle down and the 7 goes down, but that's a tough shot. You see the pros do this and they kick and stick from
Sure.
everywhere.
Sure.
And that's
jump
something
doesn't
I
do-
need. I need that in my arsenal.
We all
I
need it.
that. Yeah.
I don't think the jump
but
does
I
you
don't-
any good here because then you're behind the 9. You're jumping again.
Yeah. Well, he's playing it. Oh, he had enough.
Great shot.
Yeah, great shot.
Bracket's moving along pretty nicely. Table 3 is a hill battle
Yeah.
on the wires.
Patrick Nix and Kyle Newcomb. Kyle Newcomb from Bend, Oregon. And where's Patrick from?
Paulsbo,
Okay.
Washington.
All right. So a couple traveling players, a couple 100 miles apiece. And Mike ODIAN in the first rack. Yeah, it's nice with the live score feature. Some players use quarters. Here at Kolby's, they have a wiffle ball set up at the top, so we can kind of see scores if they're using those. With the live scoring, I can just kind of peek at my bracket here. Just kind of talk about scores. Like Table 5, they're live scoring. John Lawrence is up 3-2 against Tim Myers.
Yeah, it's nice for viewers at home who are watching the bracket from their phones or
Absolutely.
whatever too to just periodically check in and
just touch the number.
See how their buddy's doing.
I'm a little confusion with the tablet. So it is 1-0 Mike. Looks like they're going for the wiffle balls, but I'm going to try to explain to Martine. I think Dylan's looking. Dylan might do it. Yeah, Dylan, you didn't see him. He crawled under the camera. Well, you guys can get a score. There you go, 1-0. Balls on the break and a look on the 1. That's a nice look on the 1. 2 ball is right there. Might have to cheat the pocket a little bit here to get yourself an angle.
Yeah, you can catch the 5 and be okay, I think. Just almost a power draw straight into the 5. Although it's not ideal to move balls around once they're set.
Yeah, the power draw, it's like that's one shot with different styles of felt that are tough. Like I just got a table in my living room and I got brand new Simonis 860 HR on it. And the draws are like, it's way different.
Oh, yeah.
I'm playing at a table that's been played on quite a bit. But Kolby's, they do such a great job maintaining these tables. I was talking to the manager last Wednesday. And I was like, are you going to polish the balls, for the tournament? And he goes, well, we clean the felt and polish the balls every night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
That,
it's
that's
a good
how you do
program,
it.
Though. But,
Yeah.
It keeps your balls, everything lasts longer.
Yeah.
The chalk gets underneath of the felt, and if it's not vacuumed up, it just acts
Yeah,
as
and over
sandpaper.
time, that chalk it sticks in there. It gets stuck in
It
there.
acts as sandpaper every time the ball rolls across and could wear out the felt.
Yeah, you don't know
quicker.
because it's blue, but try using white felt or white chalk only, on a table, and you'll see how much chalk really gets on the table, how dirty they get.
Yeah, we have a green felt at our bar in Olympia. It's an Irish bar, so the owner demands that it's the green felt.
Are they diamonds?
They're diamonds.
I've always wanted to play on a diamond with green felt. I never have.
They're beautiful. It's the Simonis 860 HR. So they play the same, but the appearance can be a little different. I grew up with green
Mike
felt.
with a great shot on the 8, great shape on the 9.
Great stroke. But yeah, anytime we go into the bar and we see red chalk marks on the table, we walk around the bar and look for the red chalk.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
generally find one, or she will, and we
Touch like right in the middle of the number.
file that sucker in the round file.
All right, 2-0 Mike. Our team just needs to get a game, stay in this. We're talking the last match about being down or being up.
Yep, just having a spark. Get back
Stay
in
the
there.
spark. I like how you described it. You won that one game and it sparked an interest.
It just
You're
takes
just
one.
like, okay, well, I mean, I got one,
Yep.
right? Like,
Yep.
why can't I get
Yep.
another one?
Yeah. Last summer, there's a Scotch triples tournament that they're doing.
Oh, we got a rule question. 1 second,
Oh,
guys.
yep.
All right, we're back. If you've been watching on the stream commentating, it's me, Zach Zager, and Aaron Rogers. Aaron stepped out, and now we have Dylan Helpingstein.
What's up, everybody?
I cannot hear you, Dylan. Bring the mic a little closer. Oh, see, okay, so we have these volume controls. So now you should be able to
Hello.
talk. There we go. Now I can hear you.
What's up, everybody?
Martine, that's your boy.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's, we played quite a bit together. I've actually played this gentleman here as well at the table, Mike. He's from Idaho.
Yeah, Post Falls, Idaho.
Yeah,
Was
plays
it
up in, like,
460
Spokane
miles
area.
away or something like that? 6-hour drive.
Played him in a 610 event, or played with him in a 610 event up in Tacoma. Nice guy, good shot.
I played the point on that shot. Got a nice shape on the 7.
Those shots are always so scary, even when you believe that it's gonna hit the point.
Yeah, I got a buddy. Oh,
Ooh. I was gonna say what I noticed when he was shooting is he doesn't really have any sort of pause in between practice strokes. So I bet you his speed is always pretty good because it's very fluid from practice to normal shot.
yeah.
But there's no pause whatsoever. And I'm not just referring into like the backstroke, but usually like most people will pause right before they pull the trigger. Let's see what he does, if Martin does it here. See,
Yeah,
there was the
a
pause.
little pause right there.
And so it just really helps you kind of like relax your mind and focus on the spot that you're aiming in instead of like a rapid.
Kibo got away a little bit, but he still got a good look on this 9 ball.
He rushed that one a little bit, but he made it a good shot. I was gonna say, I play a lot of scotch with him, and I'll tell you what, if I leave him that on a money ball, I don't expect him to make it.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have been doing pretty good together right here.
Yeah. No, he's
that's
good. It started out rough. We when we first started playing, we were losing a lot. We were losing to pretty much everybody, and we didn't gel very well. But yeah, it's been good lately. Had a good little run at the Coast tournament teams with the Luis, Alvarado, and Jaime.
Yeah, you guys did.
That was
Pretty
fun.
good.
That was fun.
You guys won that or took second?
No, we got
Yeah, you got
second.
second.
We lost the hot seat match and then lost to them again. So I'll tell you what, it's never easy or fun losing, but when you lose to the same team twice, convincingly both
Yeah.
times, like you gotta just tip your hat to them, and the best team won, and we had a good time. So
Yeah, I was playing in the Lincoln City Open, and I lost like 4th round, I think, to Summerfield. If you're listening, Summerfield. I'll never forget
Summerfield,
it.
yeah.
Summerfield, yeah.
I don't know if I pronounced that right, but
And then I lost and played 7th, 8th to him. I played a safety where I should have ran out, and he made this sick jump shot and put him on the hill and ended up winning. But yeah, so I mean, and
It always just
played
makes it a little
good.
bit easier.
I played good, so I wasn't too upset about it.
and that's how we felt. Like we didn't feel like in our teams in the hot seat match or the finals match that those are probably our 2 worst matches.
Yeah.
But like it was 8 ball, right? So it's not like we dogged the game winning ball and they made 1 ball. Like they were getting out, they were executing.
yeah,
So like you just got to tip your hat. They were all really, really nice guys. So it was a really good time.
Tournament's running rather smooth here.
I think he's gonna get a little funny here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a low 9 ball. The tournament's running pretty smooth. Here at Colby's in Kaiser, Oregon, we have 7-foot diamond tables, very well maintained, and 1 9-footer. I think we got a couple players over there messing around on the 9
It's gonna
foot.
sell out here, I think.
Yeah, look on the 2 ball for Mike.
Yeah, the
3 balls all the way down, but you can kind of come off that side rail, go in between the 4 and the 9, trickle down.
Yeah, depending on
3.
where this 5 ball is, because if he uses right spin to get down
Yeah,
the
it
table,
kinda
it's going to
swerves it
swerve the
in,
ball
yeah.
towards the 5 a little bit. So these become kind of. Oh, he hit it.
Yep,
He
just
hit it
like
really
that,
well.
Just like that. Good shot.
Yeah, the tables here are great. Equipment's great. Staff's great. I really like what they've done with the 2 TVs behind the bar. They got one TV showing the bracket, another TV's. We're trying to get the stream up and running on it, I think, but.
Yeah,
Great food and-
they did it. I mentioned he's like he's gonna put the bracket over there. You should put this, the live stream on one of the things for the player people coming in, sitting at the bar, just
Ooh.
the public, and give them something to watch.
He got away with it though. So here's the thing is,
Oh, ouch! I did not see that.
this is one of those shots where I'm probably worse than most when it comes to being upset about these type of things, but our team's pretty good about holding his composure, and the ball's close enough to the pocket where this kick is not hard, but the roll afterwards is the 4 is on the opposite side of the table, so
Yeah.
it's almost one that you don't want to make. Unless
Look
you
at
hit it like that.
that. Look
Unless
at
you hit it
that.
like that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look on the side.
Wow.
It's gonna be
See,
tough getting on
this is
side
why we
ball,
win
but
scotch
still,
right there,
what?
because of stuff like
was-
that. This
yeah.
guy's just playing super well lately.
Yeah, the rail first. You see a lot of the pros they use when they kick like that. They aim rail first.
Yes, almost always 2 rails.
Yeah.
And just
6
because if
ball.
you come underneath it, you're more likely to get safe. If you hit it fat, you're not
Yeah.
likely to get as safe.
Yeah.
More distance.
He's gonna carry him to 6. That was a great shot.
That was a really great touch. But again, here he's kind of the first rack. I don't know if you remember, but he was this 5 ball. He got too flat on,
He is straight.
and now he's pretty flat
dead
again on this
straight.
ball too. So
It's hard to cheat this pocket too because the cue ball is so close to the rail. Well, Patrick Nitz, owner of, is an operator of EvoSports.
nice job, Patrick.
Pumping his chest with a 7-6 win. Hill against Kyle Newcomb from Bend, Oregon.
Oh, okay. He could. Okay, I didn't realize he could do that. Just kind of roll forward and play underneath the 8.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you just got to take it. You know, you got a long shot, but you don't want to go too much. You try to cheat the pocket, hit it hard, and get up on the 7. You
Right.
rattle the ball, and you can't do anything if you don't make the ball.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest differences we have in our game is I try to get like really close to everything, and it hurts me sometimes because the angles and the lines get worse as you try to get close, and he'll just take the longer shot.
Yeah.
He has more confidence in his long pot ability.
Nice shot. Try to keep the composure. Come on.
Yeah, he's good.
We got a match coming out. Table 3, Ace Ogletree.
Ooh,
you
and
guys
Luis.
have been watching. He's playing on this table before this match, and he's playing good. He shot a 9 ball in very, very hard. So he's feeling good. So Ace Ogletree and Luis Alvarado. That should be a great match.
Luis told me he was going to step outside, so I'm going to give him a ring and let him know.
Yeah, the cool thing, I'm using this digital pool system, and I have phone numbers for every player. So every time I send a match out, it sends them a text, Yeah, Luis came and asked if he could take a nap. And we got about 10 minutes, and he goes, so can I?
Yeah, that bear needs his sleep.
So 2-1. Mike ODIAN, Martin getting back in it.
Should be 2-2. Right?
I don't think so. I
thought
think
this
it was 2-0. And I don't know who broke first. The nice
it's
thing
2-2.
about
Yeah,
this
it's
is
2-2.
I'm terrible at keeping score. Like, in league, I just say, just give it to somebody else. I will mess it up. So the players, they have their own tablet, and they keep their own score. It's a really cool system. EvoSports. It's an awesome system.
I didn't see what happened at the end there. Do we know who? It looks like Martin got it, but
I
Was
think
it-
Martin got that? I wasn't watching. I think I was sending out a match, so I didn't watch the end of that. It's 2-1. Looks like Martin found the score, so it's 2-2.
yeah, that's what I thought. Because I
Yeah,
remember
2-2.
seeing the score on the stream here was already 2-1.
All right, no 9-ball breaks in this tournament.
Yeah, I really like the format that you have here set up. Obviously you get a lot of people that say, "Oh, 9-ball is 9-ball," or else why when we play 10-ball? But 9-ball is a completely different game. And
Well, and like a lot of people have mentioned, like, why don't you just do 10-ball? It's like, well, there's a lot of people that don't play 10-ball.
right,
And that one extra ball, like, it does make a difference.
and the game is vastly different.
Yeah,
it's far more
very different.
defenses.
But it's kind of like a mix between the two. you
Right.
know? And it's like 10-ball, but you're playing 9-ball. There's 9
You're
balls
getting-
on the table, the same rack. So players who don't have like 10-ball, right? They don't have breaks for that.
Right. I'll
But
never
they have
forget when
9-ball
I first
breaks.
started playing 10-ball. I had no idea the break was so different. And I remember I was gambling against a guy named Rufel, really nice guy, and I was getting so upset because I was not making balls. And when I did, I had no leave on the
Yeah.
1, and he was constantly making balls and leaving on the 1. And I was like, "Man, you're getting so lucky." And he's like, "No, like this is my break. I had no idea that 10-ball had a very different break."
Yeah, there's well, speaking of breaks, Shane Van Boning's 10-ball break.
Yes.
It's
Shane,
just unreal.
Tyler Stiers has
Yeah.
another really good 10-ball break.
But speaking of 10-ball, I know you'd be proud of this because I know that you love 10-ball. I got a new table in my house.
Right, I saw that. It's first 10-ball break and run.
Yeah,
was pretty
that
cool.
Was cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I
Couple
could film
tough
one,
shots there, too.
And I just threw my phone up there. And, I was in my head too. I was like, you gotta get out.
I
And then I
know.
didn't make a ball. Last second, the 8-ball goes in. I was like, oh, okay.
By no means was that an easy rack. That was not
No,
that
yeah,
was
that
not
was
a
tricky.
connect the
Plus,
dots.
it's
That was a
brand new
tough
felt,
rack.
brand new felt.
That was a great out.
But yeah, you would like this. I have not played any other game on that table other than 10-ball. And
It's
you know what? My buddy Anthony did that. He found 10-ball, and he goes, "You come into my garage, we play 10-ball. That's it." And I was like, that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna see how far.
I think
can
that
take
10-ball can easily, your game is easy to transition from 10 to 9. So if you're playing nothing but 10,
Yeah,
You
the
just got to
9
really
to
get the
10 is
9
different. I feel
right.
Like, yeah.
But the runouts are essentially the same. The ball, it's more open for 9 ball, so you really got to make sure that you have a 9 ball break dialed in your back pocket, and you can switch to 9 ball pretty easily. But
Yeah.
10 ball is going to get you a lot of practice. Meanwhile, Martin here is making quick work of this rack.
Yeah, straight in on the 9. Looking like
He's feeling pretty good. I know that him and Luis got some practice in yesterday. I was supposed to be helping him warm up for this tournament this week, but had to move. So
yeah, I saw the new place. It looks nice. So your new place for the next
year, hopefully
year,
only.
yeah.
Yeah, the place we're in was really nice, but unfortunately, the landlord had some family stuff come up, and she had to downsize and move into it, so we had to move out. But yeah, new adventure is always nice. Anyways, we got 3-2 here.
Yeah, I think at one point, I've been sending some matches, so I haven't been fully there. But I think at one point it was 2-0, Mike, and now it is 3-2 Martin. Martin hasn't hit his score yet, but
There we go. Well,
Dylan going above and beyond to get the score for you folks.
We had Mike had a break and run here on the second rack, and see if he can do it again and keep this match tight.
Yeah, see, that's one thing about this format too. No call 9s, no wild 9s. Like,
I really like that. Yeah, and that's what I was saying is that in a tournament atmosphere, you want. I know players paying $200. This is no $50 tournament, folks. This is a $200 entry. Put up or shut up tournament, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure none of the players here would want to win or lose on a ball going in on the break, or missing a ball and shitting the 9 in. So Zach did a really good job here with the format and a really good turnout. So make sure you come out to one of his tournaments and support. Here's one of these upcoming ones.
Yeah, we're here at KOLBY'S, and manager had come up to me with this idea for this tournament, and I was like, all right, yeah. Just kind of gave me this base idea of what he wanted, and I came over here and designed it, and showed him. I was like, this is what I got. He loves it. He's actually
There's only one downside to this tournament here, and I think that everyone would agree in the chat, and that Zach should be playing in this tournament. So do me a favor, if you're watching, leave a comment in the chat of if you would be okay with your tournament director playing in the tournament as long as they had somebody else helping with making sure that tournament scores are getting submitted and that the tournament wasn't being delayed, because I'll tell you, there's not a lot of 585 and under players that this man cannot compete with. So make sure that you let him know. We want all sorts of approval. He's doing what he can here for the tournaments in the Salem area and trying to get the biggest turnouts and trying to keep everybody happy. So, but I say let the man play.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to play in a tournament like this. I think it would be a lot of fun, especially I haven't played for like a high entry like that before, so I think that would be really cool. But dude, I'm having so much fun right now, just relaxing, in the commentating. Like, this is the coolest thing I've never done.
People ask me about running tournaments, and I'm like, I could do this all day. It's so easy. Like, when you enjoy pool, like I know you do, and like I do, you can just sit and watch the whole tournament. A 2-day tournament, and I don't feel wasted weekend or anything.
What's up? Yeah, what's up? Yeah, let me check. That's so awesome. You won your yeah, just we haven't even started.
So we text me a half hour before.
Don't bet on me. Please be back. But don't be back by 4 o'clock. I'm busy.
Be back by 4.
Be back by 4. Here, if I see you, right?
I got my truck. Send the dealership oil change.
Cool. Hi, Victor. Good, how are you? Nope.
You got mic turned off my mic too. Yeah.
No, I don't know if it turns it off. But I know if you press the mute button.
I just couldn't hear. I couldn't see the speaker.
Oh yeah, if you mute it, do you want it off?
No, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just people coming in.
How's everything going?
We're good.
So,
You got a match. You got a match. I just sent it out. Table 5. What?
much wider on the side pocket. Just like that. We hit that basically already. Woods.
We'll see if we can get you in here. What time are you leaving? Well, this is like Martinez, like Dylan's boys.
You have to use quite a bit of insight English.
I'm not. You want to jump in my spot?
Depending on how steep the cut is.
Okay. Let me get through this crap.
Oh, looks like he's going to elect to play a safe underneath the 5 and 9 ball. Oh no! Oh, he went for it. Those are one of those shots that I like to call. I stole this from Mr. Rahana. Is a jump out the window shot, where it was makeable, but the percentages on a shot of that nature are probably lower than you would like. And there was a very easy safety there, just to come 2 rails below the 5-9. And now you've left your opponent, who you have on the ropes a little bit, an open table. So could be a big turning point in this match right there.
This is a key ball right here. This is a key shot. Now table's laying out pretty good. If you can get good on this 6 ball, table's laying out pretty good for the rest of the run out.
I was gonna say, I think he can just stun into the 9 and allow himself to. He has a little angle. I think
he has a little
I think
angle.
he has a little
towards
angle.
The 7.
How would you play this? Would you try to roll for the 7 short side and play it by the 8?
The angle. If I can get on the right side of that 7,
You're gonna do whatever you can.
I'm gonna try to do it and take the cut on the 7. The 7's about 6 inches off that bottom rail, so you can cut that 7 in just a little bit of high left, up table, just straight up table, and leave yourself a shot on the 8.
If you let's say you have angle to get,
let's
say you have angle here to get to this long rail by the 9. Do you try to play below it or stun above it, above the side to come back out?
Well, it really depends on the angle and how you're feeling.
Oof, yeah, that's.
Because like this game, it's like I like to call it microscopic physics at some points. It's just like just a little bit. I mean, maybe not microscopic, right? But you're at 1/8 inch at one point. I mean, you really got to manipulate the cue ball in certain ways.
Right.
I mean, whatever you're really feeling. Like I know a player who once told me, like, just go with your gut. Like when you're on the fence, like you got to go with your gut.
Is he going for this in the side pocket?
I think
he's
is.
a pretty
safe,
conservative player. I would guess if it were
I think
me,
he was looking at
I would
the way
probably
he
try
stopped
to
right there.
play safe behind the 8.
Yeah. I think he was looking at going for it. I think if you did, you kind of got to punch it and hit that back rail and come up.
Yeah, if you're going offensive, you have to try to
could
draw
go
into the
2
short rail.
rails under the 8 and back up towards the 9 to get shape on that 8. But I mean, now you're just putting English on the cue ball, and you got a really, really touchy shot to get this 7 in the side. You don't have that big of an opening to make the 7.
Even the safety though, the stun safety off the short rail behind the 8 is a very touchy shot as well. And they always say,
yeah, and
I was
he
gonna
hit that
say,
a little hard too.
they
So
always
the 7's
say
coming down.
if the safety and the offensive shot are both equally difficult, that you take the offensive shot, which he did. So
Yeah.
I don't think he made a wrong play there. Just a tough spot he left himself in. Oh, now we have Martine at the table. And, this is no hanger, but I tell you what, right now, you're up 3-2 in a match, going to 7. This is a big shot.
Yeah.
You got to dig deep within yourself.
He went for the.
I don't think he did. I didn't see him call that, and then we're playing call 9, so I don't think he went for that.
Okay, maybe he did come off that side rail, so maybe he was really trying to punch that 7.
Yes, I think
to bounce off of it.
he had a little bit of angle, and he was really trying to punch.
If he was going for that 9 ball, it's pretty close. Again, this is a call 9, no wild 9s. And yeah, like Dylan said, he didn't really call it, so kind of a wild shot. Kind of calm down, collect yourself. get back in there.
Man, this has been a
Shots like that can really like affect your mental game, And you just gotta say, well, if that was the wrong shot,
the thing
trying to
about
do it
Martin that
again.
I've learned is that he doesn't typically let shots like that get to him if he misses because it was a tough shot. It's like if he misses like a really easy shot, right? But like that was a tough shot, and he went up. He shot it obviously very confidently at the speed that he shot it. So I think that he can recover. But we got Mike here. You know, he slow rolled that ball in, and he's got a chance to tie this match up. One good shot here. Ooh, I don't know if you noticed the knee bend there.
yeah.
He's feeling it a little bit right now.
I mean, from here, that looked like it went pretty center pocket.
Yeah, it did.
so,
But that's why that's what I meant.
yeah,
You know,
he thought he
when you
almost
see
missed it.
when you see body movement in a player when they barely make a ball, that tells you that they thought they missed it.
Yeah,
But when you see body movement in a player on a shot that they made center pocket or very easily, it tells you that they're just feeling a little bit.
yeah.
But again, this is a big tournament, right? This is $200,
Yeah.
and the potential to make 4 figures. So the stakes are high. The pressure is also going to be equally as high.
Yeah. So
I don't think he got the mark on the tablet there again.
No, well, we got a 3-3 game, about the halfway point. I think I'm gonna take a break here. I'm gonna go get some food, kind of stroll around, see what's going on the 9th foot. There was a gentleman who was gonna play in this tournament, but backed out Friday because he thought the tournament was Sunday. And tonight he's got a hot date, and he says that this hot date's more important than this tournament. So I think we're gonna have Victor Delaney come in and
All right.
commentate some matches with you. This guy's
Wow.
been hot lately.
Yes, just won a big 525 and under tournament up in Washington. Second place in gold for the second time. Playing very strong pool. Very strong
Very
pool.
passionate pool player.
Yes,
too.
very much.
Very passionate. So
We've had
I'm gonna head off. I will be back on at some point later in this event. Yeah, enjoy the rest of this match. I mean, 3-3 and 2 great players.
We've got an open table here.
Yeah, shot on the 1. You gotta get shape on the 3. I think shape on the 3. And then a good look on the 4. I mean, there's a lot of key balls. in
Yeah,
rack.
the shot
five's a
right here is
little
pretty tough because the way you want to come in this, the 9 can get. Oh, he's playing for the side. Okay, it's further off the rail than I see.
All right, well, I'm gonna let Victor Delaney take over. But yeah, nice chat with you, Dylan.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Here, let me give you a little rundown real quick. And maybe show Victor. This system is super cool. You can mute if you need to mute. You can just then you got the cue ball, right? So you put the cue ball. And you can put English somewhere, right? So if you're
right. Just
describing
kind of describe a shot to the audience.
Press clear. That gets rid of it. If you left click, you can freestyle. Well, let's go on the tape. Well, yeah. If you left click, you can kind of freestyle, right? And if you right click, you can make straight lines. So, you can show
Oh, right. The shot
kick
that you're trying to
shots,
talk
angles,
about. Yeah.
right? And just press clear to get rid of it. There's a hint section right here, so it kind of explains the tools. So
Okay.
just play
cool.
around with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, show Victor.
Thank you.
And, yeah, it'll be cool.
So we have Mike here. Martin missed the 3 ball on the side. Mike pocketed the 3 ball, but it looks like he left himself a jump shot. And this is a tough shot because he's got about 1.5 feet between the cue ball and the 9 ball. So he has to clear about 1.5 feet and then land cut rather quickly to keep the cue ball on the table. See, this is what I was worried about. That's a tough shot. Obviously, had he hit the 4 ball a little bit more full, he hit it pretty thin. He overcut it by a bit. If he hit it a little bit more full, then maybe he keeps the cue ball on the table. But that was a tough order and a tall ask of yourself.
Left click,
Yeah.
and you can clear. And right click, you draw straight lines.
And so now we have Martin with ball in hand, scores 3-3. It looks like he's going to elect to just roll forward and play the 5 in the upper corner pocket. Keep things simple with where the 6 was. Didn't want to try to get fancy on the 5. He looks like he has a little bit of angle going into the long rail. And that can get a little bit tricky because he really wanted to play the 6 ball on the side, I would assume, or the top right, the bottom right corner in the screen. And now that he has a little bit of angle taking him into this short rail, he's probably gonna have to settle for the other upper pocket. That was a great shot. Looks like we have Victor jump on the mic here. Victor, how's it going, man?
Hey, doing good, Dylan.
Nice to have you. Congratulations on your recent win, man. You've been playing some pretty jam up pool.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's cool to be here. I like Kolby's a lot. Really cool little venue.
Yeah, we were just talking about that a little while ago. It's a nice little venue here. You know, it's a real pool players bar. You know, they got the TVs. They got the bracket up on the TV, and there's a good amount of space between each table. The food's really good. The staff's really great. So, yeah, it's a cool spot. I heard you were gonna play and decided that you had some other more important obligations.
Yeah, I ended up getting a date tonight, so I unfortunately had to take other priorities.
Good for you. You've been playing a lot of pool. You've won a lot of money lately, so you know you're not going to do without for this one. So good for you. I hope you have a great time, and hopefully it becomes something more than just a date, right? So you look back and never regret missing this tournament.
Yeah, I know, right? Hopefully it pays off because there's quite a bit of money here, from my understanding.
Yes. That we talked about it, kind of what I like to call a put up or shut up tournament. You know, $200 entry and. I think close to about $6,000 in the prize pool. So it's going to be a pretty hefty payday for somebody this weekend. And,
yeah,
you know, all the practice that they've put in and the time that they've put in over the years is going to pay off. So it'll be cool to see who comes out on top.
Yeah. So this is my first time on a commentating stream. And so what do you guys typically just talk about, you know, the gameplay and environment, that type of stuff?
I think it kind of is different for everyone. I'm definitely no experienced veteran. I have a few times in my belt. That's about it. I know if you've watched like Post Up, his name's Alex Collins or Nick Collins, something like he does a lot of the stuff in like Oscar Dominguez's bar at Hard Times, and he likes to just have fun with it. You know, not as much play by play. For what Zach and I were doing, we were just trying to talk a little bit about like what we were seeing and what we thought they might be thinking and doing. So. Just whatever comes out, man. Whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you want to do, we'll make it work.
Sounds good.
What do you see here?
I've always found getting to the like 3 to the 4 on this type of angle a little tricky because you have to.
Oh, you hit that good.
So you have to control that speed really well. It looks like you got that 6, which helped him a bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I in those particular shots, I don't really like running into balls at all ever if I don't have to. I just, you know, you got to be much better than myself to be able to control the outcome of those balls over and over. So I think I would have tried to stay above that 6 ball and just play it back and forth a couple times. But, you know, he got much better on the 4 ball than I could have. Oh, man. So we were talking about this before you got on the mic. It seems like he's been feeling a little bit of pressure lately. I've been noticing some lower body movements when he's following through in his shots, which tells me that he's feeling a little bit of pressure. He's not quite sure how he's stroking the ball right now.
I noticed he's also kind of jabbing a little bit. That also happens when you have that adrenaline running through you. It's really easy to get through the ball a little too quick.
Yep, and that's actually something. The first thing that I noticed, the first thing I mentioned on the stream was that I noticed that he doesn't have a pause between his practice strokes and his delivery. There's no, and I don't mean like I know that everyone talks about having a pause after you've gone back with your backstroke and then accelerating forward. I'm just referring to like if you watch most players, they will practice stroke, and then right before they're ready to pull the trigger on the final stroke, they'll pause for a second and then go. And he just goes do, boom. Like everything's like rapid. So like I said, his speed is probably really good, his cue ball control, because there's no pause. And so he's emulating his practice strokes perfectly. Yeah. But I think a pause is very helpful in kind of calming your mind and getting ready to deliver that final stroke.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And especially when in the transition between, between moving, standing up and going into full stance. A lot of people just go right into it versus, that pre-shot routine is so important.
Right. Is that something that you've put a lot of time into? Is your pre-shot routine, making sure, like, do you have it dialed as far as like an exact amount of practice strokes every single time and like exact amount of times you're looking at the object ball or the cue ball? Like, do you have it that dialed, or what does your process look like? Let us know what it takes to be a champion, Victor. What does it take? What do you do?
Far away from that, but I appreciate that. Pre-shot routine is pretty much everything. And sometimes I get ahead of myself, and that's when balls can go in weird directions. But what I like to do is start with my getting my visuals down, and then getting my footwork in place.
Very nice shot
I
there
know-
by Martin.
Very nice shot. Well control on the speed. And I noticed that's something that who's the guy in the white shirt?
Mike.
It's Mike. I noticed he has good footwork too. Puts his feet in the right spot and then just gets down on it, which is good. There's a close out there. So we're going to 5-3, it looks like.
Yeah, 5-3. Martin is playing very good. But yeah, I think so. It's funny you were mentioning how important it is. That's something that I myself don't have too much pride on. Like I know that I've talked to players much better than myself and how important pre-shot routine is, and I feel like it's something that I should probably be putting more attention into because I do not have a consistent thing. So sometimes it's 3 practice strokes, sometimes it's 5. It just really depends. And I think that, like you mentioned, it's very important because it helps every shot be the same, right? Like I have a tendency to like take shots for granted or one pump a shot when it's easy and then I miss, right? Because I didn't take it as seriously as I may a more serious ball, or maybe if it's a $5 tournament or a $200 tournament, right? But just keeping everything consistent, it's going to help your game be more consistent, right?
Yes.
You're going to miss less balls that you shouldn't miss. And so as you see, like Martin, that's something that him and I have talked about a lot, and he's put a lot of time into because he knows that he does that. We all do, but we take balls for granted and take shots for granted. And so you'll see when he's really playing good and he's feeling really good, he'll walk the table, he'll check out the spot on the ball, he'll walk into his line, right? Like everything is the same. And his tempo is very good and controlled around the table.
Absolutely, and it's kind of the hallmark of professional players too. Even on this, 2-foot straight in shot, a lot of them will go down and they'll pause and they'll take as much time as they need to feel comfortable and go for it.
Absolutely.
Whether it's that or a very difficult shot.
You see some players, like the Jason Shaws, where like, that guy's a wild child. He'll have an easy 9 ball and he'll get down to boom, one pump it. And they're gonna make it a million out of a million and one times, regardless of their pre-shot routine on a shot that easy. But yeah, absolutely, they'll have straight in shots where they know they just have to stop shot and they will take the time, right? And like their pre-shot routines are a lot of times going to be faster than ours because their mechanics are so dialed and they don't need to be down on a ball as long. And sometimes for amateur players, we need to kind of build up the courage, right? Or maybe we're taking a little bit longer looking at the aiming point on the ball, and they have a lot more trust in themselves. They've seen that shot a bajillion times. So their pre-shot routines look quick, and I think that sometimes amateur players see them shooting and think that they're shooting quickly because they are shooting quicker than us, but they're putting the same amount of deliberate time into each shot. And that's really what matters.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. That the deliberation is the key component right there.
It looks like he's going to leave a shot here. Is this the 2 ball here on this rail or the 4 ball? I can't tell with the light.
I think that's the 4.
I think it's the 4.
So it's gonna require some railage.
Yes, yes. I guess regardless of the 2 or the 4, it is the next ball. So this is a tough shot because the cue ball's one in a travel into the 6, and if he avoids the 6, he's likely going to run into the 7-9. This is a tricky shot here.
I think so too. If it can miss the 6, then it's helpful. But one of the things I've found,
yes,
is if it hits
he played for the 6 contact, and he used inside English, hoping to come off the short rail, the long rail near the pocket. He made the 1, and then he was going to try to come above, and unfortunately, he got a couple rolls that were not necessarily in his favor.
This is one of those times I would actually try to go hard into the 9, see what happens.
Right. Yes.
It's really hard to play safe from here.
Yes, it's a harder shot. I think the 6 is taking off like just the straight ball kick. He's going to have to use some English, which makes it harder to kick combo. But you definitely want to go this with speed because you want to move something around.
Oh, yeah.
That is the last thing you wanted to do right there. And see, I was actually going to say if I were him, I probably would have kicked underneath. I would have kicked at the opposite short rail beneath the 6 at the 4 because I think that it would have allowed him a better line because he was less obstructed by the 6 ball. So he could have chosen his line a lot better to hit the 4 and move the thing out of there. But I think that his mindset kind of went where yours was, and he was thinking he might get an early game there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I think that was a great thing that you said is coming in with speed. I would have. I did see it was kind of blocked off, so I would have maybe even considered a 2-rail approach into that 4. But again, it's still unlikely.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot. It was by no means was that like a wrong decision or it's just a tough spot, and the speed that he played did not allow his English to catch enough to swerve back and hit the 4 where he needed to hit it, or hit the 4 at all for that purpose. But that's why I said I think that looking back on this, if he watches this or anyone who's watching, I think that kicking to the opposite short rail underneath the 6 was probably an easier hit. Obviously, you would not win the game that way, but you a better chance at not giving up ball in hand to your opponent.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And now we have Mike here with a good chance, and I think this is what everyone wants to see, right? Like, we want to see competitive pool. Oh, he got a little funny here with this 8 ball being as far off of the long rail as it is. This is no hanger, so he's got to get pretty good on this 8 ball, and he just left himself a little bit funny. And it looks like, is he going 3 rails? He is going 3 rails, and I think he scratched. He scratched. That's what I was saying. He got himself in a very funny position on the 7 ball there, and he had to try to use low inside English to go 3 rails, and he just, again, I think that's one of those shots that are very difficult, and his rapid acceleration from his practice shots to his actual delivery that can really change the outcome of a shot when you're using that much English.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that pre-shot routine determining positional play, determining, which side of, which line of the ball you want to be over here or you want to be over here, like which side do you want to be on. And so, like, when you're coming into that line, it's so much easier to control that versus if you're crossing it,
Yes, absolutely. Well, we've got Martin here with a long, straight 9 ball to get him to the hill if he can keep his composure. Oh, he's got a little bit of a funny bridging hand.
These ones are so fun to hit the speed, but I'll tell you, that pocket gets really.
Yes, when you use low on the cue ball in this type of shot, the pocket will reject it if you do not hit it well.
Yep.
He hit it well. He hit it well. Yeah, that's a shot where if you can roll it with forward, just so everyone out there watching, whenever you have the object ball close to the long rail, when you use low on the cue ball, it is going to allow the pocket to spit it out a little bit easier. So the closer the object ball is to the long rail, top English is going to open the pocket, bottom English is going to make it a little bit tighter. So you got to hit it a lot better.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because of the throw.
Right. It's like you see a lot of players prefer we all have a preference in how we shoot a shot, right? And so, like, if you have a tester 9 ball, you're gonna probably try to shoot it how you're comfortable and confident rather than how you should. And so, like, I prefer to shoot with draw. Like, if I have a long 9 ball, a long straight 9 ball, or even a little bit of angle, like, I prefer low ball. It's just how I prefer to shoot it. It's where I'm confident shooting it instead of rolling it. But it does make the pocket a little bit smaller. So,
do you like to hit it with a lot of with firm and with speed, or do you like to hit it at like pocket speed, just make it kind of stun?
Man, it really depends. I think that I typically prefer to hit it with more speed, just because I think that it shuts my brain off a little bit more. When I'm trying to roll a ball, I typically am thinking a little bit more, and when I'm hitting like a stun shot or a draw shot with a speed, I'm just allowing my back arm to just flow and trust it's what I've done a million times. So that's just my preference. But I have dogged that shot many times.
I like the idea of hitting with speed because when you hit a shot with like less speed and any timidity or whatever, weird things can happen.
Right.
It's just nice to put a full stroke on the ball.
That's what I was saying about why I don't like to roll a ball when it's a tester, because it can really allow you, if you're not confident, there's a lot that can go wrong. You can twist your wrist, you try to guide a ball, you try to steer a ball. Plus also the table factor, right? Like these tables, we're not playing on pro tables here, right? These are not being leveled every single time before a tournament. They're not being, don't get me wrong. The equipment here is great, but they're not being professionally installed and leveled before every tournament, right? So like if I want to trust my shot and with speed rather than trusting anything else, the table, right? Or maybe there's a piece of chalk on the cue ball and it skids. Like the more speed you shoot at, the less likely you're going to have that happen.
That was well played it to the rail and back out. Gave a little angle to maybe float it back over to the 3.
Yeah, Mike he broke there and he had a shot on the 1 ball, or I'm sorry, he did not have a shot on the 1 ball, but he elected to jump instead of push out, and we're about to find out if that was the right decision or not. It was a very aggressive decision because of how close the 1 was to the pocket. When you have a situation like that, Victor, if let's say you have the 1 ball near a pocket, right? So there's essentially no push that they're going to give back if they can see the ball. They're going to pocket it. do you prefer to try to be aggressive and kick and jump the one in, or would you rather try to like tie up something else where you're leaving them a shot, but you're making it difficult to run out, hopefully giving you the opportunity to come back to the table?
That's a great question, and there's it really depends on the layout of the table. For example, the 2 was on the same side as the 1, and so trying to from that distance control the cue ball is pretty tough. So I would say you could, in this case, make him try to jump it by pushing to the same rail and see what happens.
Right. Okay. So you kind of want to, you're not afraid of taking the shot on, but you want to try to maybe put yourself in a better position to jump, a little bit less angle, and see if he gives it back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
I like that.
And then, or if based on the layout, if it doesn't work, then just create a problem somewhere else, because the more problems there are, the less likely they are to run out.
That's I would be considered much more of a conservative pool player than maybe a lot of other players. I like to live and die by the percentage. Oh, he jarred that ball. He really had to punch that to get out, but he didn't really leave much here. So, but what I was saying is I prefer to live and die by the percentages. So in a situation like that, like you watch the pros play, they'll push, their opponent will push to a jump, and it's almost all hangers for them, but they'll give it back a lot of times because the saying, right, like anytime you go to the air, anything can happen. So I am the type of player who would elect to tie something up and hope that I get a chance back at the table, because they have to go for a breakout, or anything can happen in that sense. But I don't want to try to be a hero and jump in that 1 ball and get good on the 2, and then risk giving up ball in hand and watching my opponent run out an easy rack. So it's just all preference there.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of in that case is if that jump allowed you to get on the 2, to which you could throw the 2 out to the bottom rail and get the cue ball behind those yellow cluster that was there. Then, I mean, hey, like I said, it's kind of one of those things where you just have to gauge, like you said, percentages for your friend or your enemy.
Right. And that's, some people ask me all the time, because like I said, I'm much more conservative of a player, and they always ask me, what would I rather do? And what I always say is, it's like playing, I refer to playing blackjack, right? Everyone has personal rules, like do you hit on 16 or do you not hit on 16 or 15, right? And I kind of live by the same way when it comes to pool. If I have a really, really tough shot, regardless of the table, like even if it's like off the 7 ball, right, and there's nothing to hide, there's less to hide behind, I would prefer to play the safety shot and watch my opponent make a very tough cut or a very tough bank and run out, than me be the one to try a super tough shot and then sell out, leaving it in the pocket. Yeah. So like I said, I've witnessed many, many people many times kick, jump, make a crazy shot and run out on me. But the percentages for them doing that were lower than it was, in my opinion, for me to do it.
That's a great point. What would you do here? Would you try to go back to the top rail, or would you try to do this combination?
Yes, I would not be comboing this, but I think the reason he's doing it is because that's why.
I would be afraid of that. Right
the reason he did it is because of where the 7 ball is. The 8 ball was blocking that pocket, so even with ball in hand on the 4, he would have had to play short side on the 7. But I think you got to trust your ability, and with ball in hand, 5 balls, his chances of getting underneath the 7 in a good spot to just stop for the 8 were probably pretty high. And when you're shooting a combo both on the rail, this is what can happen. Oh, that's a good shot by Martin. See, and this is kind of what I was talking about right there. Like, he had an opportunity to carry him into this the 8 ball, and make it, but the 4 ball was going to be running all over. Cue ball could potentially follow it in, and he just elected to play the percentage shot, right? And so he's letting his opponent back to the table when he didn't necessarily have to, which, again, this is a gamble. And but I think more often than not, he played the right shot there.
Here's a going with your advice. Actually, is going off the short rail, kick it back out table.
Right. This is the exact same shot that I said that Martin should have done earlier, because you have much less likely of a chance of making the ball, right? Like, most people are like, oh, the 8 ball is hanging, I can kick this combo in, but it's a longer kick, so you have to visualize the tangent line. It's much harder to visualize that line from 7 feet away, but nonetheless, he failed to make contact with the 4 ball, gave up ball in hand, and he also made the 7, which is giving 1 less ball for Martin to run out here on the hill match, or hill game.
How do you like to see those those one real kicks, do you just kind of visualize it, or do you use any systems for
I
that?
do not have any systems, and anybody out there that would like to teach me one, I am all for it because I think that at the end of the day, you have to go a little bit off of feel after you've done your system measurement. There we go. But yes, I think having a system is very helpful because there's some kicks that come up that are a little bit funky. I'm just a completely field player, so there's days where I can kick at anything, and there's days where
Oh my goodness.
oh, see right there, that was a shot that Martin took for granted. He bumped into the 9 on his transition from the 6, which he didn't want to do. He still got good with it, but then he got so good that he just decided that, like we were talking about earlier, like this is an easy shot, and did not process mentally all the things he would normally process, which was that scratch possibility, whether it be using a different English, whether it be hitting at a different speed. That is a shot that was taken for granted because he did not have a consistent pre-stroke routine.
I took lessons. I've taken lessons from various people. Russ Searley.
Ooh,
we
he's
did
a very
we-
good
we-
shooter.
We had some great lessons in structure along with that, and part of that, I won't reveal like everything, but as part of the pre-shot routine,
Oh, he just got
it's,
kicked in the corner. When it rains, it pours. Oh
it's
man,
that,
so we
it's
just
that decision making and justifying that decision, and that's also eliminating like any unwanted possibilities in that decision.
yeah, Russ. I've never met him personally, like but I've seen a lot of him. I've heard a lot about him. I think seems like a very very nice, genuine man. He's a very very strong pool player. Glad that you were able to find some value out of some time
He's
with him.
extremely smart too. Extremely smart.
We just saw a big change in this match, folks. We had
Yeah.
Martin make the 9 to potentially win 7-3 and then scratched. And now the very next rack, he got kicked in on the break. Mike is now running out. So not only is Mike have a possibility to pull within 1, but he's going to have the opportunity to build some confidence, which
Yeah,
is going to be
seems like he's
huge
gaining
because the
momentum.
last 2 shots that Martin took were both scratches. So he's going to be a little bit on edge right now, and Mike is building confidence.
You can see him taking a little more time over the ball, and
Yeah, well, he was given a gift right now. Like in his mind, 35 seconds ago, this match was over. Martin was shooting an easy 9, and Mike as we all do, he was there like, oh man, I've lost. And next thing you know, he's at the table. Oh, and he missed, but he left, I believe, a jump or a kick. I don't believe he left Martin any edge of this ball. And this is a kick you would like to hit on the left part of the 2 ball, sending the 2 ball up table and sending the cue ball down below the 9 if you can. He hit it very fat. He's going to sell the shot out, I believe, or at least going to give Mike an ability to continue to remain in control of the table.
has at least extended the match.
Yes,
A little bit.
and I'm sure that's what everyone wants to see, right? Everyone wants to see a tight match. It was 3-3, and we almost saw a 7-3 defeat, right? So, but Mike is too good of a player to give this many opportunities to.
Yeah, this is what pool's all
I think
about.
he hit this
though,
ball a
is
little
these-
light.
is these,
I think he hit this ball a little light. I think he hit. Yes, he did.
This is what pool is all about, though. Those roller coaster moments.
Yes. The mental game is very important. This is no hanger, right? This is a little bit of a thin cut. You're not super close to the ball, but I can tell you he is very happy to have a full look at this. And he bared down. He made it. Where's the cue ball going? Oh my goodness.
Fortunate hit right there.
Yes, agreed. I think fortunate or unfortunate, depending on who you ask, right? Like, fortunate he didn't scratch. Unfortunate because if it didn't hit the point, he would have potentially been a little bit better on the 3. But the suspense in this match is there's no shortage of that. He's gonna get away with this one.
So it took out the bank there.
I believe so. I think that Mike will be kicking at this ball or jumping over the edge of the 6 ball.
Just trying to see if that bank's available, but that's tough.
This is tough
You
action.
you have to avoid that scratch now if you're coming at it directly.
And something that I'm trying to work on myself is always trying to stay positive in these moments, right? Like Mike he very easily could be thinking in his head like, oh, this he got so lucky, he missed the 3 ball and he hooked me, which absolutely, this was absolutely a bad roll for Mike. But Mike was recently at the table shooting the 2 ball and he missed. And so had he not missed, he would have been more in control of the table and this roll would not have happened. So as you're trying to get better as a pool player, try to find those moments in the rack. They won't always be there. Sometimes it's just bad luck. But try to find the moments in the rack before the unfortunate roll that you had to focus on what you could have done differently to prevent it. And I promise you, it will help your game improve.
See what he does.
It looks like you can see enough of this ball. I don't know. Is he gonna? I think he's gonna try to swerve this ball. Swerve this 6. The problem is if he can easily sell this 3 ball out over the side pocket if he doesn't hit it hard enough. Oh. All right. Well, we have Martin with ball in hand. He is on the hill. The last rack he made the 9 and scratch. So let's see if he's able to hold his composure here and get out of this rack and finish the match. They always say the first and the last are the hardest to get, and we are seeing that here. So let's see if he's able to hold his composure and get out of this rack. What do you think, Victor? Do you think he's going to get out here?
It depends on what line of the 4 ball he gets on. I think that is a fantastic way to get to the 6.
Yes.
So it's based on his caliber, I'm assuming he'll probably get really close to getting out, if not get out.
So on that shot that he had there, the 3 to the 4 with ball in hand, what that told, how he elected to shoot that told me that he's not feeling super great right now, because if he was feeling better, he probably would have gave himself some sort of angle on the 3 to play the 4 in the near side pocket, because it allows you to have more room for error on your leave and get better on the 6. But because he played it the way he did, it tells me that he's feeling the pressure a little bit here. Rightfully so,
that stroke
right?
sounded. That stroke was a stroke of confidence. So
Yes.
that's this shot's key right here.
Big shot here, folks.
It's just all about that speed, not just make. It's so easy to scratch that one, but I think he got it.
Oh, right off the point. Okay, well, let's see if he takes his time here and walks into his shot. Yep. All right. See if he can hold the composure for one more ball. There it was.
Felt it there.
In the match, 7-4 Martin over Mike. It was a great match. We're going to mute the mics here for a moment as we gather up who's going to be playing on this next one, and we'll have the next match up here for you guys shortly. Victor, it was a pleasure commentating with you, man. I hope you have a great time on your day tonight and keep up your pool game, man. It's been very fun to watch and see you progress and grow as a pool player and an individual. So good luck.
I appreciate that very much. And for everyone out there watching, enjoy the rest of the show.